Community, we ready to roll? At this time, it is my pleasure to call your June 2025 meeting of Hanover Borough Council to order. I request that we all stand and recite our Pledge of Allegiance and then follow that with a brief moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Secretary Felix, let's call the roll.
Mr. Bub? Here. Mr. Fuentes? Here. Mrs. Spunk? Here. Mrs. Greenholt? Here. Mr. Hegberg?
Here.
Mr. Kress? Here. Mr. Lookenbill? Here. Mr. Riecart?
Here.
Mr. Rowland? Dr. Rupp?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes?
Here.
Manager Lewis?
Here.
Mayor Whitman?
Here.
Secretary Felix? Here. Junior Counsel Noah Chronister? Alexis Day. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I'll ask our solicitor to read about our executive session this evening.
Thank you. Borough Council had an executive session this evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Involving matters that are lawfully privileged, specifically procurement matters and the conditional use hearing under Section 708A5 of the Sunshine Act.
Thank you. At this time, we have two registrations for our initial public comment. Mr. Holt, I'll ask you to come first.
Robert Holt from the 3rd Ward.
Yeah, your microphone.
Robert Holt from the 3rd Ward.
Thank you.
The unprotected, underrepresented, ignored, dumped on 3rd Ward. I see that there's a donation for speed detection equipment that you're going to receive, and I would like to suggest that there be better speed protection and enforcement in the 3rd Ward. You seem to get the short shrift, and also I think there should be another consideration of a 4-way traffic stop at High and West Maple. But High and West Maple, a 4-way stop. The sight distance isn't great. I'm also going to mention your line item on the 44 Frederick Street project, listed at over $10 million. Your bid told the contractors they should bid for 7.1, and they went way over. And you've already spent more than $3 million on this building and renovating this building on top of the $729,000 you paid to buy it. And so it just seems that you're over budget, and it just seems like you're steering us towards a tax increase, not only for this, but for other reasons. And I just want to go on record that you had an opportunity to tell us about this in several settings, committees, and it just seems like there's never any discussion about the budget items like this. And you have ample opportunity, instead of just having one big giant middle of the day or daylight hour weekday budget session that most people can attend. And I just think there's opportunities to talk about these issues that people could better understand. But I just think you have overspent the budget again, and I'm going to remind you that when you vote for a tax increase later this year, it'll be the 4th consecutive, and I don't think it's going to be tolerated lightly. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sandy Mao.
Can you turn the mic on?
Okay. I debated whether or not I was going to speak here this evening after having ran into one of your informants who was playing a rap song and was repeating over and over again, "You will not investigate. You will not investigate." Well, ladies and gentlemen, and all those informants, I am investigating, and you will not threaten me, and you will not impede it. Now, the closing of the library due to the hot weather brings up the HVAC issue again. You have approximately $295,000 in grant and a matching ARPA grant. So that comes to about $600,000, and receiving interest should be somewhere around $24,000 or so for the first year and a half. I don't see the holdup. I don't see any estimates. That's a huge amount of money, and until we are informed of the estimates, we'll just have to question it. Secondly, with the heat wave, granted it's only 4 days, what steps have you taken to protect the hardware, the software, and the books, the games that the kids play? Just because the doors aren't open doesn't mean that you aren't affected by heat. So hopefully the York County Library System and the borough are working together to make sure nothing happens to those assets. And I know I won't get an answer, but I'll pose this question. What is the daily cost of running that library? How much money does it take to run that library for one day? Thank you.
Community, is there anyone following online? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. We'll come back to it at the end. Let's move into agenda item 4, that being our first of 2 presentations. I'm going to do the first one. Vicki Jacobs. Front and center. So let it be known to all that Vicki Jacobs, for 26 years of dedicated service, dedicated volunteer of the Civil Service Commission, 1999 to 2025. Wow. Has exhibited sincere dedication to the public interest of our community and is hereby honored with this certificate of appreciation. Next, we have the veterans of Fort Worth, Post 2506. Has to be you guys. Sure. Who, I understand there's a number of people who want to be part of this presentation, so whoever is welcome to come forward.
If I can, maybe start by saying a few words then.
Yeah. Let me get everyone up here first, though. Who's Chief and Lieutenant? All yours.
So Councilman Fuentes and Mayor Whitman had brought to the VFW the need for a radar sign to improve public safety on some of the streets in our ward. And at last month's meeting, we had voted to do a donation of $3,000 to purchase should be one of the radar signs that would be needed. And so I would like to present this check to Council President Reichert and Mayor Whitman. Chief Martin. Thank you. Chief,
Okay. Great. Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Very much.
Very much.
Very much.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you, Wes. You're not Wes. Mayor Sharkey. You're Wayne. You're Wes. By the way, Mr. Sharkey here is the mayor of Shrewsbury, too.
Mayor and mayor.
A little conflict of interest going on right now.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Safe trip home. Okay, Chair is looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Seeing no objections to the consideration, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye, please. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. With that, we'll move into agenda item 6, Planning Commission. Councilor Hegberg?
I need a motion for the approve resolution number 1442 for preliminary and final subdivision plan for Allegheny Avenue 119 to 121.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. 7, I'll take that one myself, that being the right-of-way agreement. I would move that we approve an agreement for right-of-way to install a fire hydrant at 646 Blooming Grove Road. Is there a second? Thank you for the second. Any discussion or consideration? We'll vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries. Finance and Personnel, Councilor Kress.
Turn this on. 8.01, transfer station hauling contract, authorize advertisement for bids.
Seeing no hands raised for discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries.
8.02, Phase 2, Public Safety Facility Project, 44 Frederick Street. Consideration of a motion authorizing the notice of intent to award and notice to proceed for the 44 Frederick Street Public Safety Facility renovation project as part of the overall Hanover Borough Public Administration and Public Safety Complex project to the low bidder, ECI Construction, in the amount of $10,131,098, subject to the solicitor's review of all contracts and related documents.
Is there any needed discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. With that, we will open up for our second public comment portion. I see Mr. Holt, you're scheduled to speak again. You're welcome to come forward, sir.
From the third ward, the orphan third ward doesn't even have a rec park. Like other wards have 2 parks, we have nothing. Again, we had an opportunity to talk about the details of the $10 million, which is over budget for 44 Frederick, and you didn't use it. And I don't know what to think, except silence is a betrayal. Silence is a betrayal of the public trust. And I guess we can't look forward to any discussion in committee meetings or any place else on how the funds are being expended. The so-called free money, which is really federal and state tax dollars, it's taxpayer money, and how you're going to cover the shortfalls. I am going to talk about the fact that we, here in the third ward, you don't have money for a rec park. You don't have any money for any kind of a public rec facility like that is seen in other communities. You have no money to pave our streets. But, you know, out at the Long Arm Reservoir, you've got money to be improving the parking lots out there, resurfacing the gravel lots, gravel and dirt lots. And there was never any discussion about that in a committee meeting. There was never any discussion about that in any of these council meetings. And I don't know, it mystifies me that why it just seems like the citizens are treated like what we think and what our input might be or just our understanding doesn't matter. And so I just don't know, except again, I take silence as a betrayal. I'm sorry. The other thing is, I am going to again bring up the issue of the open container law and the fact that, you know, there we are in Walnut Street, East Walnut, in front of one of the popular establishments. The guy's out laying in the street. And there's never any explanation, there's never any accounting. And the owner of the establishment was one of the big proponents who was asked to come speak at that sham you called a fact-finding session by the governance committee. That was a pure sham, and someday we're going to get real fact-finding. And I thank you for your time.
Yes,
One question.
go ahead.
Margie, when we did those upper parking lots over there at the Long Arm Dam, where did that money come from to complete that work?
So that's maintenance dollars, and we do that every year, every other year as they need it.
So it
Was
was,
was it crusher waste from street, stuff that we pulled out of the streets? It wasn't, we didn't even buy the material. It's stuff we do every year, every other year, whenever there's.
so it was budgeted in,
It probably didn't cost us but a couple of man hours, because it would have been stuff that Chad or John dug up in the streets. We
Okay.
stockpile it, we use it to fill potholes, we use it to fill the parking lots and resurface the parking lots
okay,
with
thank you.
a fresh layer of, it's like crusher waste, if you.
It's
if you know.
millings, it's street
Millings,
millings.
street
Okay.
millings, yeah.
And the other thing I want to do is thank council. I want to thank all of you. The children at Bear Avenue are having a blast. They are enjoying the activities with or without a pavilion right now, but we will have that pavilion, will we not, Brian?
We will.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, Matt, thank everybody here. Thank you.
Okay, community, is there anyone online? Seeing none, I'll close public comment and make an announcement. In the new building, just a new policy. We ask that you plan to exit the building within 15 minutes following adjournment of any meeting here so that staff can secure the building and depart for the evening. That being said, I will request a motion for adjournment.
So motion.
Been moved, is there a second? All in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. See you next month.